Hello students, myself Professor Ankur. I welcome everyone for the GATE sum session on analog circuits. Today we are going to solve important sums on op-amp. This is our third session on op-amp sums. Let's start with the session now. So this question is from the GATE 2015 EC paper. The question is, in the circuitry shown, assume op-amp is ideal if the gain VO by Vin is minus 12, the value of R in kilo ohms is. So here we are given a circuitry. I have made additions Vx and In red color for the circuit diagram. So the question is that if the op-amp is basically ideal in nature and if VO by Vin is minus 12, we are supposed to find the value of R in kilo ohm. So the first thing that we can understand here is we can find the input current In. The property of op-amp that if the non-inverting terminal of the op-amp is grounded, so it is at zero potential. So it is V plus pin which is at zero potential. It will be equal to the V minus pin at zero potential. This is concept of virtual grounding. So I can get the value of In current. So for that we need to take KCL at V minus pin, which will be Vin minus 0 by 10K. And that current will be equal to the current flowing in the feedback path. And that current is 0 minus Vx by 10K. So observation, we are taking the input current In, finding the value as Vin minus 0 by 10K. And that In current is going to be equal to the current going on the feedback path. So it is going to be 0 minus Vx by 10K. So if you observe, the Vin value will be minus of Vx. The next step is we are going to apply the KCL at node Vx. So KCL at node Vx will give us Vx minus 0 by 10K plus Vx by R plus Vx minus Vo by 10K is equal to 0. Now we all are aware that Vin is equal to minus of Vx. So wherever we are having Vx, we can replace it by minus of Vin. And secondly, we are also given the value of Vo by Vin, that is minus 12. So since Vo by Vin is minus 12, you can divide the entire equation by Vin or by Vo as per your convenience. So now we will be left out with only one unknown parameter, that will be R. So on solving, you will get the value of R as 1 kilo ohm. So the value of R is 1 kilo ohm. Next question. This is from the GATE 2015 EC paper. Let's have a look at the question. And the question is, in the circuitry shown, assume the op-amp is ideal. The bridge output voltage VO in millivolt for delta equal to 0.05 is. So here we are given an op-amp. The op-amp is having non-inverting pin kept at 1 volt. So with the property of V non-inverting pin equal to V inverting pin, so the V inverting pin will be also at 1 volt. If you look at the bridge circuitry carefully, there are impedances with the value 250 1 plus delta, 250 1 minus delta, 250 1 minus delta, and 250 1 plus delta. So overall there are 4 impedances which are having the value 250 1 plus or minus delta. So delta is basically a deviation factor. There are 200 ohm resistance and there is 150 ohm resistance. Now, as I've said, since the V plus pin is kept at 1 volt, the V minus pin is also kept at 1 volt. So now the current flowing in the 50 ohm resistance will be 1 volt by 50 ohm. So it will be 1 by 50 ampere. So if your observation is sharp, the current is 1 by 50 ampere in the 50 ohm resistor. The same current will be now flowing through the 100 ohm resistances. So it is as good as the current will come from the top section, which is the first 100 ohm resistor. It will split into 2 parts and the 2 parts will be having equal current because the resultant current of the 2 parallel paths will be same. The reason being the total resistance of the path is same, because when I take 250 1 plus delta and 250 1 minus delta on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we are having 250 1 minus delta and 250 1 plus delta. It is as good as when the current comes from the 100 ohm, it will split into two equal parts and then merge again at the bottom terminal and again flow through 100 ohm resistor. And that current is basically the current in the 50 ohm resistor. And hence I can say that the current in the 100 ohm resistor is basically 1 by 50 and the split effect will produce a current of 1 by 100. So when the current comes from the top node and move towards the bottom node, it will develop a polarity of plus minus and plus minus. That's a thumb rule for giving polarity for a resistor. Current always enters plus and leaves minus. So now we are free to apply a KVL to the bridge loop, which is upper loop or the lower loop. It is as per our convenience. So we are going to go for KVL to the lower loop. So the value is going to be plus 250 into 1 minus delta into 1 by 100 plus VO minus 250 into 1 plus delta into 1 by 100 is equal to 0. And we put the value of delta as 0.05. On solving, we get the value of VO as 250 millivolt. So the value of output VO is 250 millivolt. This is the answer. Next question. This is from the GATE 2016 EC paper. Let's have a look at the question. And the question is, the following signal VI of peak voltage 8 volt is applied to the non-inverting terminal of an ideal op-amp. So if your observation is sharp, there is a VI of 8 volt and it will be applied to the non-inverting terminal of the ideal op-amp. The transistor has VBE equal to 0.7 volt, beta equal to 100, LED voltage is equal to 1.5 volt and VCC equal to 10 and minus of VCC equal to minus of 10. The question is, we are supposed to find the number of times the LED glows. So first of all, what we need to understand here is under what situation the LED will glow. Remember here the transistor is working like a switch. If it's a closed switch, the transistor will turn on and then only the LED will glow. If it's an open switch, implies the transistor is off, the LED will be remaining in the off state. So for LED to glow, the op-amp should produce a positive output. That is your VSAT value. And that is possible only when the V plus pin, that is your VI input, crosses the voltage value of the V minus pin, that is the inverting pin voltage. So the first step is we are supposed to find the inverting pin voltage. So now when we start with the solution, the V plus pin, so the V minus pin value is 10 into 2 divided by 10, that is 2 volt. So this is the value of V minus pin. So the value of the V minus pin is 10 into 2 divided by 10. So 10 into 2 divided by 10 will give me 2 volt. So that is the voltage of the V minus pin, which is going to be now 2 volt. So if this is 2 volt, the input VI has to cross 2 volt. If the input VI crosses 2 volt, the op-amp output will be positive VSAT and then the transistor will turn on. It will work like a closed switch and automatically the LED will start glowing. So if your observation is sharp for the waveform given as the VI waveform, you can see the VI started with the positive cycle and it has crossed 2 volt for the first time. Then completing the negative cycle and again crossing 2 volt in the next cycle, falling down, but it is not falling below 2 volt. It is again rising somewhere from 3 volt again on the top side and then completing one more cycle and coming down. Implies the second section of the diagram is as good as only one waveform which has crossed 2 volt one time. Then coming for the negative cycle and again rising for the positive cycle and crossing 2 volt one more time. So if you trace the path of VI and with the reference voltage at 2 volt, we will find that the input has crossed 2 volt 3 times. So overall the LED will be growing 3 times. Since the input has crossed 2 volt level 3 times, the LED will glow 3 times. So this is the correct answer for the question. So here the number of times LED glow is 3.